Hello and welcome to Hump Day lunch break. Okay, it's not lunch, it's dinner time. Sorry, I actually had to go into the office today, so wasn't able to do lunch break. I was actually in meetings, and I don't think they would have appreciated me stopping the meeting to do a Facebook Live. Well, maybe some of them would have, but I don't think all of them would have. So better to just switch it to dinner break. That's okay then, because then we're not in a rush. You can enjoy this over some dinner and have a good time. So I am just looking off to the side here just because I want to make sure that I am live and everything is running. So let me refresh my page here. If you're joining me, say hi. Let me know that you're there. Let me know where you're watching from. And most important, because it's dinner break, let me know what you're having for dinner. So last night I was making what I thought was beef stew. That was my intention. And then I just started adding things and mixing things. I'm like, oh, okay, this looks like it's gonna be good. By the time I got done, it actually tasted like Swiss steak. You know, the Swiss steak with the gravy and tomato and potatoes and carrots. And yeah, it was actually really good. I was kind of surprised. I was happily surprised. So yeah, who knew? Thank goodness for my Pampered Chef quick cooker, because it really helped me out a lot. Okay, so I'm going to post a comment. Let me know that you're watching so I know who's all here. And that way I can tell that my feed is actually working. And this way I can see all the comments on here. I'm just going to make it large so I can see everybody. And we'll get started. So it's been a heck of a week. Well, hello, Anne. Hi from Vermont. Stir fry from dinner. Ooh, what's your favorite part of the stir fry? Oh, my goodness. So as a lot of you know, we had a family member going to the hospital and had some pretty major surgery. Patient is home, doing well. There's a lot more follow-up that's going to be happening. So maybe my things will be a little more sporadic, but I'll still be here. I'm not going anywhere, I promise. I may be doing more videos versus lives, but I really enjoy my live time with all of you, so I'm going to really try to make sure I'm live, especially for Hump Day. I mean, geez, it's almost Friday. You gotta love that, right? Okay, so got some comments showing there. I am going to flip down my camera. Again, I don't really have anything planned. I have it here, but I don't have it on my table yet. So let's see what I come up with. Okay, if you get dizzy, close your eyes because I do have to flip my camera around. I try to make it as smooth as possible, but you know, it is what it is. Okay. Now, I just gotta see if I have some funny lines going through there. No. Oh yeah, I do. So sometimes with my lighting, it sends like, I don't know, light waves through my video, and it doesn't always look quite right. So let's just turn on a couple other lights. And I do have sunshine coming in from behind me, so that always makes a difference. Let's see if I just move this over a little bit. Get my blocks in place. Oopsie. I want that on. All the way. Okay. Hoping the glare is better. Well, it's going to be what it's going to be. Okay, so the reason I have our mini catalog out is because we're going to be working from here. Some kits. Not kits. Oh, hello. We're going to be working with some product from our mini catalog. So what we're going to be using is, I like going to the back here. It's much easier to find things. So I'm going to our little catalog at a glance. And I know the stamp set that I'm going to be using is called Perched in a Tree. So it's right here, and it tells me it's on page 46. I love that. I don't have to go searching and flipping through the pages when I'm on with you. I just have to get to the page. There we go. So we're going to be using this amazing stamp set and dies. Now when I first saw this, I'm like, I'm not a big bird fan. I don't know if I should get it or not. But I'm glad I did, because I've made some really nice looking cards. You can use it for holidays. You can use it just for birthdays or sentiment or sympathy or I'm thinking of you, all sorts of different things. You just change up your greetings with it. So tonight I'm going to show you how we can make, it's not necessarily a quick card, but it's a fun card. Okay, and so I just realized that I probably should do some explaining. I have nail polish on just this nail because I have been running. So between staying at my mom's and going to the hospital and going to work, and I forgot to take the nail polish off my thumb. So just pretend it's not there, or pretend I colored it when I colored the bird in today. Oh, I just saw that. I'm so embarrassed. If you could see my face, it's totally red. All right. So this bundle here is $53. So if you were to purchase this bundle, you can get a level 1 celebration set. I'm going to tell you some of the things are running out in here. So if you're interested in something free from Stamping Up, so when you spend $50 in my online store, you can get one of the items that say free with a $50 purchase. There are also some items that you can get free with a $100 purchase, but we are out of a number of things already. So the pool party and soft seafoam envelopes gone. I believe the tree lot dies may be gone as well. And these coordinate with the Trees for Sale stamp set. Okay, if you don't have a demonstrator and would like a catalog, please let me know. Reach out to me. I'd love to earn your business and love to help you out and answer any questions you may have, and I can send you a catalog. All right, now that I got that out of the way, let's go get to stamping. So let's first pull out our stamp set here. Now, as you can see, I've started mounting some of these. So I have a question for everyone out there. Do you mount your sets, all your stamp sets all at one time, or do you mount them as you go? I kind of do both. So sometimes I'll take my sets and I'll sit down while I'm watching a movie or something with my husband, and I'll go ahead and mount them. But a lot of times, if I'm in the middle of a video, I'll just mount them as I go. So obviously, I was doing some videos with this one, so I just mounted as I went. So we'll see which ones we're going to be using. I may be mounting more and show you some tricks on mounting your stamp sets. Ooh, excuse me. Hello, Beth. And here are these dies. Now these dies are amazing. I am a nature person, so not that I'm an athletic person, but I am a nature person, so I love a lot of nature type sets. I do get some cutesy ones too, but this die right here is amazing, and I'm going to show you how that works. This is a branch, so we'll be using that. Actually, we're not going to be using this tonight. I think this may be a video for next week. And tomorrow night we'll be using Rings with Nature, and I'll be showing you all the tips and tricks on how this stamp set, dies, and embossing folder all work together. So don't miss tomorrow night, Stampin' Fun and More at 6:44. But tonight we're going to be using the bird die and these leaves. We're going to have some fun with that. So let's get to stamping some stuff. I'm going to grab... Now, the leaf in here, that's the die actually, doesn't have a coordinating stamp. The only thing that really coordinates is this right here. So that's the only thing that we have that's a die that coordinates. But we have these two amazing leaves, and I'm going to show you how much fun we can have with those. So, like I said, I just kind of got back late last night, so I don't have anything pulled out. So you have to bear with me while I get up and go across the room and get some stamp sets and some stamp pads. I'm just so excited to be here tonight and have my family member nice and safe and sound. And it's been a whirlwind, that's for sure. But very, very grateful that he is doing well. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a piece of basic white cardstock here, and I just want to make sure I can fit both leaves on. I can. And now I'm going to take my old olive stamp pad, and I am going to grab my blending brush, and I'm just going to get some ink on here. I'm going to start off on my paper, and then I'm going to go on it. And this, you know, this one isn't as critical because it's going to be a leaf. And a leaf has some paint veins and patterns and dark spots and light spots, so not a real big deal. All right, so we've got that. And I'm going to come over to my Mossy Meadow, do the same thing, and just add some color in here. And I really, like I said, I don't really care if I have those marks in there, like the brown marks. It doesn't really bother me for this one. But when you first start on, so you notice like it does that. So that's why you usually start off and then go on. All right. So I think that will work. All right, I'm going to put my brush aside and I'm going to bring in my mini die cut machine. So this was just a scrap piece of paper. I don't even have it measured. It's just a scrap that I had around. And I think I have a mini die cut machine somewhere. Where'd I put it? I mean, this is something that you can't just lose. Here it is. Oh my, yes, once again, Beth is not as organized as she could be. All right. So Miss Beth, what are you having for dinner tonight? Or did you eat dinner? It's probably kind of late there already, hey? All right, so I'm going to just run these dies right through my die cut machine here. And sorry, my table bounces because my camera's connected to that table. And I'm going to show you how pretty this is. So when I lift these off, look at how pretty that is. So you can see the embossing that it did, but also by having that dark and light in there, it just gives that a really nice kind of touch. If you want to add a little more, what you can do is, and I'm just trying to see all the comments here. Let me see if I can change my screen. I'm just changing the screen on my computer. You can bring back in your blending brush. Come on. All right, maybe as I start getting more comments, it'll go off to the side. We'll see. There we go. Okay, so we can take our mossy meadow again, get some ink on there, and we can just kind of brush it a little bit like that. And maybe you decide, oh, I want a little bit more. So bring back in your paper and you can color it just a little more. I'm going to leave this other side a little green, a little light, and a little bit of color off to it just to give it some kind of definition. And here, I'm going to do the darker up here. So you can do this with a sponge, you can do it with a dauber, you can do it by running your your image right across your stamp pad. This one's kind of hard to do that with only because of all the little edges and stuff that it has. It kind of has those ruffled edges there, so it's a little harder to do that. Okay, so we got our leaves cut. All right, we'll get that out of the way. And from my Rings of Nature, and again, I'm going to show you these tomorrow night, I've die cut 2 little slices of wood here. So we're going to be, I don't know if we're going to use both, but we're going to put those out. The next thing I'm going to do is I'll need my papers again. It's just my scrap paper here. And I'll need a piece of Whisper White. Here we go. Again, just a scrap. I don't need a large piece. We're going to be die cutting it. So I'm going to grab my my black Memento ink. And I'm using black Memento ink because I am going to be using my blends to color this in. So I want to make sure I have an ink that's not going to run. So we'll just grab our block here, put our bird on it. And we'll go ahead and ink this up. When I have a larger image, I'd like to be able to take my stamp to, or take my ink to my stamp. It just makes it easier. It's less awkward to hold. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. And you know what? For grins and giggles, I'm going to do it again because I have my stamp out and I'm going to need more cards. So I might as well make a couple at the same time. So, you know what? Yeah, we'll just do 2 for right now. I'm going to bring in my cleaner here, my little scrub, so I can clean my stamp. I like using my scrub and my mist when I'm using my red rubber. And one side is your side that you get damp, and the other side is your drying side. Okay, I just feel it gets the ink out better and it cleans in between those image pieces. That's just my preference. That's just my opinion. All right, we're going to color these in and then we'll go ahead and die cut them out. So I'm going to start with, let's see, I'm going to start with my, we're going to use gray granite here. So I've got my light and my dark and make sure they're both gray granite. I was going to use smoky slate. That would have been my first choice, but for the life of me, I don't know what to do with them. So they're around somewhere. I just don't know where. So I am just going to add my dark right in here. Go right under the beak. There, just like that. And then I'm going to come back with my light and use my brush side and just blend this all in. I should get my other one done at the same time. Okay, we're gonna multitask here. That can be awful dangerous when I multitask. I don't know, sometimes I'm just not paying attention as much as I should. All right. But other times I am happily stamping along. So tonight is a happy stamping night. I wanted to do just something, I don't know, mellow and serene. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. I was going to say peaceful before, but I think serene is more the word I wanted to use. All right, so now I'm going to take my dark navy, and we'll use our chisel end here. And I am just going to go along some of these darker areas. So the artists at Stampin' Up! Have really kind of given us all the tools that we need to really make our stamped images come to life. So I'm just going along some of these edges here, and what I want to do is right by his eye here. There we go. All right, just like that, because I do want to come back in with my light gray granite. I'm going to go around his eye here. I'm not going to color in his eye, but I want to go around it. Just like that. And maybe up here just a little bit. We'll see, I may change it later. And then I'll color his beak with another color in just a moment. Get his eye colored in here. All right, and I'll go up right there. Oh. Come back in and get this one over here. Okay, now that's so dark that I want to bring in another color here, and I ended up with my light balmy blue because my dark balmy blue ran out, and I have to order another one. So now I am just kind of blending in that Night of Navy with this, and I'll come back in with my light Night of Navy as well and blend that a little bit more. So here's with the balmy blue. Let's grab our light Night of Navy. Well, I don't know, is this one? We'll see. Oops, yep, that's why. That one's gotta go. Okay. All right, we'll do it on this one here, and I'll show you the difference in the colors. And this one I'm just coloring all over. And this one I'll come back a little bit and kind of lighten some of this area up a little bit. So this one I have a little bit more blue in it. I kind of want to have that. There we go. Just like that. Same with over here. I want to get more of a tip there. There we go. Okay. And, you know, I think I'm just going to do this whole thing. I had changed my mind. Because this time I'm going to come in with my light balmy blue, and we'll use the brush end here. And I am going to do his underbelly here. And oh, that's right, Mike works third shift, hey? Yeah, and my days have been long, short. I don't even know what time it is, so I'm just glad I'm awake and have all my family members. Okay, I'm going to grab our smoky slate. Here we go. Not smoky slate. Soft suede. And I just want to color in his beak. I'm really just kind of defining it, and then I'll color in his feet here. Okay, now I'm going to bring back in my gray granite, and I am going to just color some of this underneath. All right. Over here. And I may need to come in with the dark. We'll see. We're going to blend it all together in just a minute. Maybe we'll come in a little bit darker here. I don't want it real dark. I just want to add some depth here. So then we'll come back in with our lighter, blend those two back in, kind of smooth this out a little bit. Again, I'm not, as you know, birds' feathers aren't always smooth, so I'm just kind of moving around here. All right. And I think I need to add a little bit more color in here. Come back through and blend that in. And now I'm going to actually take my lifter. So it doesn't actually remove the, excuse me, remove the color. It just lightens it up. So by that, this is our color lifter. And hi, Amy. I thought I saw Amy pop on. Okay, and we'll go ahead and lighten some of this up here. Just right in his chest here, we'll lighten this one up. And we'll do that over here. So this one I kind of going in a circular motion. This one I just kind of went back and forth. And then we'll do some right in here. Like I want to lighten this. Just a little too much for me here. And if I feel that I need a little bit more color after I've removed some of it, I can come back and with the blenders and add it. So we're going to just let that dry. And now our big dilemma is, what color do we use for our card base? I'm going to go ahead and die cut these out right away. And since my die cut machine will only fit a piece that's about 3 1/4 inches wide, I'm just going to trim this down a little bit so I can run that through. Now that piece would fit fine in the large machine. I just don't feel like bringing that one out. I just want to use this one. So let me shove it this way here. Wait, let me just turn this here. I'm right-handed, so I've got to have my thing in the right direction. Okay, so I'm just going to layer this on. Now, if you're worried about this moving, you can take a piece of washi tape, or I like to use Post-it note tape. I just order it right from Amazon. It's not as sticky as most tapes. So once I have this positioned, and part of the reason I'm doing this is because my plates are very well loved and very well used. So sometimes stuff hops around. So I'm just kind of holding that in place, and then I'll run this through. And I'll repeat it and run this through. And Mom says hi to everyone. I don't know that she can join tonight. She may be a little busy. So my brother, stepsister, and I have been kind of rotating around who's staying with the folks, so that they always have someone there just in case. Not that they need it, but it's just kind of that extra comfort and one less thing to worry about. I made them a whole bunch of meals on groceries. Got yelled at because I got some of their favorite things and they're not supposed to have them, but you know what? They deserve it. They can have those little splurges now and then. I'm not going to deny them of that. Even though I'll probably get in trouble for saying that. That's all right. I'm a big girl. I got big shoulders. I can manage. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring in some cardstock now. So I've got my Mellow Moss. I got my old olive, and actually this was, I think, Parakeet Party and Granny Apple Green. So I'm going to move that one aside. And I kind of like this bird better. So yeah, we're just going to kind of lay it out on my paper right here, figure out what I want, how I want this laid out, and then I'll bring in everything else there. I really do like those, kind of those wood pieces there. And you know what? I think maybe we will use a third leaf. So I'm going to decide that at the last minute. I can go ahead and just bring back in my blending brush. Add some of my color back on. I still had enough color on here from before. There we go. Just to make it so it's not so Granny Apple Greenish. Okay. I know that's not really a word, but you know what? I'm using it. I'm going with it. Okay. All right, we'll put this one off to the side. We'll put the bird right there. But now, you know, the bird is kind of floating in the air, so we got to figure out something with that. So, hey, right in this handy dandy little assortment of dies, we've got a branch. And we do have a branch. I forgot that we had this branch here. So I'll pull that in. And we'll put that on a block. We'll grab this other strip that we had before, and I'll grab some of my, soft suede ink. Actually, what I'm going to do is grab my early espresso ink. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do, because I am going to color it in with my blends. But I do know that when I do that, I have the risk of having this bleed a little bit. But that's okay. It'll all be good. Because I don't really definitely need to have all the detail there, so I'm okay with it blending a little bit. And that's because my ink is water-based. Hello, Becky. How are you this evening? So, Becky, share what you're having for dinner tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my dark soft suede here, and I'm just going to color along here. I'm going to come back in with my light in just a moment, just adding some dark spots. I could actually just leave it like that too. That would be kind of cool, but I'm going to come back in and just color that in. So my early espresso ink is just starting to blend in, kind of smear in with that, but that's okay because my branch is brown anyways. So I'm just going to color that and get the tips here. There we go. All right, we'll run that through the die cut machine, and I think we'll be ready to put this on a card front if I've figured out what colors we're going to use yet. So I'm thinking, I do like the balmy blue. I do like the crumb cake. You know what? We'll grab out a couple of sheets and we'll put it together. We'll do this by your input. Because again, I really didn't plan exactly what I wanted to do here. All right. Okay, so tip I want to share with you. When you're layering this die on your branch, see how you have your images there? If you look through these little holes up on top and line up where you have your ink, this will cut out your branches just in the right spot. So I'm going to take my Post-it note tape and put it on there. So that's one way when you have these large images that have very fine detail. If you look at those ends where those little holes are, you can see that you've got it lined up. And if you don't, oh well. And if someone points it out to you, tell them they need to make you the card. All right. And I'm going to be cutting off part of that end anyways, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, let's grab out some cardstock. So let's grab a piece of, well, we'll grab a piece of crumb cake and balmy blue and, oh, not, actually I like gray granite, I think is what I want to go with. Gray granite, where are you? And I might grab a piece of Night of Navy. All right. Okay, okay. So, let's see if I grab Night of Navy. That's really going to make things pop, which is not a bad thing. I do have my... I think having mossy metal will be just a little too, well, I don't know. What do you think? So, you know, I've almost kind of written off the balmy blue. I kind of almost like, Okay, we're just going to have a cluster of stuff there. I'm going to tuck these underneath. Okay, we'll cut it up and we'll get a better idea as we go. All right, so I'm just going to cut these pieces in half. So we're just going to go at 5.5. And then this one, I'm going to do 5.25. I'm going to turn it and go to 4. This gives me extra layers. Ooh, and I thought about something else that we could do too. All right. I've been out of the studio for a little while. Can you tell? Because my little creative inklings are like, ooh, we could do this, and ooh, we could do that. I think I may just keep this a little more simple. But you know, if you have the die cut machine, use it, right? Okay. Let's go with this. So let's see. Do we like... I'm just going to offset this a little bit. Do we like the navy as the card base and our... Again, I'm going to trim that down a little bit. Probably put this way. Okay, do we like the navy as the card base, or do we want the mellow moss as the card base? What do you think? Love the darker blue. Are you talking about for the card base or for our layer? I think I kind of like this. Oh, Beth, you're too funny. Ooh, Stromboli. Ooh. You know, Becky always has like the best lunches and dinners. I'm going to go visit her. I'm kidding, Becky. I wouldn't visit you just for your lunch and your dinner. I'd visit you because I would like to meet you. Okay. So what do we think? I'm going with this one? All right. Navy as a layer. Yeah, okay. Let's add a little something to it because I feel like it's missing something. It's kind of like, I don't know. It just is missing something. So that something that it's missing is just a little background splotch. So we're going to take our splotches here. I love a little splotch. It adds a lot. So now you can do this splotch with Versamark, or you can do it with your Night of Navy. I'm going to grab my Night of Navy. And I'm going to bring back in my papers here. And, ooh, well, that one's not really the right size, but okay, we'll make it work. And I'm going to ink that up. I'm going to stamp it off because it's otherwise it's going to be really dark. And I'm just going to keep stamping around. So maybe I'll stamp that darker one in the inside there. Okay. Now, we're going to take our blotches here. And I am just going to, keep re-inking each time. Okay. And once you think you need one more, stop, because that's usually when you've had one too many. And that counts for a lot of different things in life, I must say. Okay, so Becky, I'm going to need some good recipes for tomatoes, because all of a sudden we went from having very few tomatoes to, oh my gosh, my tomato plants blew up. So I have like probably 75 Roma tomatoes going. It's like all of a sudden out of the blue, it's like, oh, hello, it's time to bloom. They're not quite ripe yet, so I've got a little time to think about what I'm going to do with all the extras. I like to make a lot of fresh dishes with tomato in it. One of my favorite ones is called Ugly Dip. I got it from a friend's mom and love the recipe. In fact, most of the times when I'm supposed to bring an appetizer, that's what they make me bring. I'll make it one day and I'll bring it to Facebook Live, and so you can see what it looks like. Okay, what did I do with all my pieces? Okay, so every time I put this together, I have laid it out different. So when you put yours together, you can lay it out different each time as well. Yeah, I think, I don't know. I want to just have maybe this one right here. Because I do have to have a sentiment on here. So let's get out of those sentiments that come with this. And because I need a get well card, I'm just going to grab Anne a, where's stamp set here? And I haven't even used this stamp set yet. This is going to be one of my clubs, my card clubs. I'm going to be doing something with this stamp set. But let's see. So I'm here for you. Sending well wishes your way. I like the sending well wishes your way. So I need just a little strip, and we have a little strip here. Now, normally I would probably grab another die and cut it out, but we've already used enough dies, so I think I'm just going to trim it out by hand. So we'll go ahead and grab this. And for some reason, I think I have two of these. Like, I think maybe one's already open. No, I guess not. Okay. So one day I ordered stamp sets, and I know I ordered duplicates of a couple of the sets. I'm like, what was I thinking? Obviously, wasn't thinking that day when I was ordering. Okay, sending you well wishes your way. So this is where I said, oh, I'll show you how to mount the stamp. So I'm grabbing the sentiment sticker here. Now when I'm peeling this up, I'm making sure I'm peeling the whole thing away from my label. I'm placing that on my block. I'm not pushing it down too hard. I'm just kind of tapping it and peeling off that backing. This is the easiest way I have found to put my stamps on so they line up. Now watch, I'm going to do it and it's not going to line up. Okay, and then I have my stamp, and I'll peel off the backing from there. I put my stamp right on my table, and then I line up my sticker so I can see the outline of that sticker, and now I can see right through that. And I'm just going to slide it down so I can get my head over it a little better, because I do like to have them lined up. And there we go. I picked it up with the block, and now it's all set. Okay, so let's grab our, let's just grab Night of Navy. We'll just stay with that. No, I'm gonna, let's stamp it with both, and we'll see which other color. Again, very wishy-washy because I haven't been in the studio for a while. It's almost like I forgot how to stamp. Okay, you can never really forget how to stamp, but you know what I mean. apparently I have forgotten how to stamp because I'm pushing too hard on my stamp pad and getting my little edges of my stamp. Okay, so we'll do this one right here. All right, and now let's see how the Night of Navy will look. So I really am having a lot of fun with this stamp set. Again, when I initially looked at it, I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't really want a bird. But you know what? I'm really kind of glad I got it. So I will be having more samples of this. Okay. Bring in my sample. Sending you well wishes or sending you well wishes. Let's cut it out and see how it's going to look. So I'm going to just bring in my trimmer. Hello, Amy. So yes, I was saying earlier I had meetings all day today, and instead of canceling, I thought, you know what, we'll just do a dinner live. Dinner and a show. Whoop, whoop. All right. Now, am I measuring? No, I'm just kind of scooting it through here. I am kind of looking, so my words right here, I'm kind of lining up with one of these. Okay, this is called a what? Slot, a groove. Groove, yeah, I'm lining up with one of the grooves here. So I'm just going to put that through just like that. And now we'll do the other one. Same way. A little easier to see that one. All right. And we'll just take some snips here. And just cut that straight. Okay. I haven't even got this adhered down yet. Okay. So do we like the green? And we could actually put it even down here, which I kind of like the idea of. I think I like it down there. And I'm going to trim this one down too. All right. I think just the navy kind of blends in too much. So I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow and we're going to pop it up. But I also want to grab out some bling. So let's find our bling. I'm debating on that one. I've got those two. Just looking for something very subtle. My bling box just has about everything in there. So I'm sure I'll find something. I could add some pearls. Yeah, we're going to add pearls. And because it's for a man, I want to tone it down just a little bit, make it a little more masculine. So I can come back in with a oh yeah, I can use this one. I was looking for my brown and it's sitting right here in front of me. I can come in with a blend and I can color some of these in. Now, what I like about doing this is with the blends, this dries fairly quick. Now notice my soft suede there is kind of damaged. That's because I was using it a lot to color in rhinestones and I kind of broke down the tip. So because the rhinestones and some of the faceted edges have like sharp edges, it kind of broke down that tip. So now this is what I use this one for. All right, so I'm just going to give that a moment to dry. We'll go ahead and adhere everything else. I'm going to slide this off just kind of like this. So we'll bring in our seal here, maybe. So the other night I was making cards and I wasn't in my studio and I was working on a glass top table. Oh my gosh. So my runner wouldn't work and nothing wanted to work. My stamping came out perfect, but nothing else wanted to work because it didn't like the table. I had to like find one of my foam mats and do that. I'm just going to set that right there for right now because I know I need to put my other stuff on. So I think what we'll do, we're not going to see this one as much. So let's see. I'm going to tuck that. I just want to see how high I'm going with that. Yep, all right. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to commit. That's how pretty it's going to look. Sometimes if you overthink it, it's going to take you 3 hours to make a card instead of a few minutes. So sometimes just go with your first thought. Because you know what? Hey, you probably stamped enough extra that you can make a second card. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use liquid glue on this only because this is embossed and it's got some raised edges, and I don't think this is my, oh, I do have some glue in there. Yay! Sometimes I don't have enough glue in there. All right, put that one down. This one down. And if I had my other cards here to show you, I would. I don't know what I did with them. They're probably downstairs. I think I was showing someone else my cards, asking for their input on them. All right, and we'll grab our stem. I'm going to go ahead and cut that down now. I'm just going to cut off that portion where it wasn't colored. There we go. If I want, I could actually just do it straight and line it up with the edge, which I think will look good. So I think what we're going to do with this one is we're going to pop this up as well. So I'm going to take my little strips here of dimensions, my little extra pieces, and that will fit right on there. And we'll do some at the other end. Just turn this down a little bit. Right, oh, that's going to be a little bit too wide. Okay, so we'll grab our, now you could use adhesive foam strips as well. I am just going to grab my dimensional sheet here and trim a piece. I do love our foam sheets. One thing to note, though, the foam sheets seem to be, the foam strips I'm talking about, seem to be a little wider than the regular dimensionals. So when you're using it, make sure that your layers are all kind of using the same thing. All right. We'll put this right across here, just like that. Oop, forgot to peel out that backing. Not going to stick if you don't do that, right? Okay, and let's get our bird. I'll put some of these on here as well. Might as well use up all my little dimensional pieces. Normally I would probably just put 3 of them on there, but I have all these little extra strips left. Okay. So I could put down here, I could, you know, I'm going to put it right, kind of overlapping things. I kind of like how that looked. All right. Okay, and now we're going to come back in with our little colored pearls here. And I'm just going to randomly put them on my card. Right down here. Go there. There. Okay. So that is our card. Let's move some of our stuff out of the way. So again, tomorrow night we'll be playing around with our Ringed with Nature stamp set, the dies that coordinate with it, and the embossing folder. So this is a hybrid embossing folder. So I can't wait to share how to use this along with your dies. It's really actually very neat. And your dies themselves have a large piece, so you can cut out what you emboss, or you can emboss and cut at the same time. And then they had the smaller pieces that will coordinate here, and you can also die cut the smaller pieces out. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait to show you. So join me tomorrow night for Stampin' Fun and More at 6:44 on the My Stamp Studio group or the My Stamp Studio page. I broadcast to both. So take care, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you Thursday. Otherwise, we'll see you for Hump Day lunch break next Wednesday at about 12:15. Take care, and it's great to see you all.